Alrighty, hey there, guys. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about the Elgin marble issue. Now, a lot of you probably don't know exactly what the Elgin marbles are or what their origin is. So, I've asked a very special friend to come today and help me give a little bit of background and tell the story of the Elgin marbles. So, this is my friend Bob, and this is his group of friends who are going to help us tell the story. So, a long time ago, we have ancient Greece with the ancient Greek city-states. My friend Bob here is standing on top of Athens, and he's standing next to the Parthenon, which was a temple built by the Athenians for their patron god Athena. It's carved out of marble and has fancy stone carvings, of which are important later. But after some time, the Ottoman Empire comes in and they take over. They're in charge and they set up the Parthenon as a military compound, and there's lots of battle and destruction, and Athens gets largely destroyed. The Parthenon's okay, but it is somewhat damaged. At some point in time, a little while later, Lord Elgin shows up. He's here in green, and he's from Britain. He has a huge fascination with the carvings of the ancient Greeks, and he wants to get his hands on some of the frieze on top of the Parthenon, which is what the arrow is pointing to there. It's a bunch of sculptures. So the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire says, sure, these are just kind of worthless stones. So here you are, you can take them. And so Lord Elgin takes a large portion of the Elgin marbles back with him to London. And he displays them by his house, thinking he's all cool and whatnot, but there is one problem that came with all of this. He couldn't afford it. Lord Elgin paid a significant amount of money for this endeavor, and it really didn't work out for him. So he ends up giving the Elgin marbles to London for their museum so that he ends up okay. And so the people of London take the Elgin marbles and display them in a museum so that everybody can see. And that's pretty much the rough story of what happened with the Elgin marbles. So the issue really is that in the modern day, the people of Greece want the Elgin marbles back. But the people of London are like, no, these are ours. You can't have them back. We got them fair and square. Lord Elgin asked the people in charge at the time if he could take them, and they let him. So Lord Elgin got them fairly, and London obtained them fairly from Lord Elgin. So all around, it was a fair trade. So London has a right to own the Elgin marbles. So there are a lot of people have written about this issue. Ruth Waddick in the Journal of Social Linguistics says that the Greeks lack an identity, and the Elgin marbles would restore their missing identity. So essentially, the Greeks don't know who they are, and they don't have anything that they can show off that says, this helps define who we are as a people, such as, the Statue of Liberty for the United States is a way of, explaining who we are, or the White House. The Greeks don't really think they have anything like that, and so the Elgin marbles being returned to them would be something like the Statue of Liberty that will help give them back their missing identity. Another argument in the Wall Street Journal in 2002 says that the British argue that they have a legal right to own the marbles. Their museum houses stuff from around the world, and that is their Greek identity. So, as I previously explained, the British obtained the Elgin marbles totally fair. So, they have a right to own them, a legal right to own the marbles. They don't have to give them back. They do belong to them. So, but their museum houses displays from all around the world. And the Elgin marbles are a part of their Greek display that helps show off Greek culture. And this is an issue, really, because if they have to give them back, then that means that other museums should have to return other things to other countries, because nothing is really owned by the museums then. The Wall Street Journal in 1999, titled "Elgin Marbles Are Plunder," says the British argue that they have the marbles for protection. The Greeks say that Lord Elgin did it out of greed, not to protect them, so they were taken wrongfully. So essentially the British are arguing that they are taking good care of the Elgin marbles, and it was Lord Elgin's idea to take them and protect them. But the Greeks argue counter to that Lord Elgin took the Elgin marbles out of his own greed, not to protect them, so they were taken wrongfully at the beginning, and so therefore they should be returned to the Greeks. Another Wall Street Journal article from 1999 argues that this one argues that the Elgin marbles have not been taken very good care of, and they should be returned to Greek hands. That way they can be preserved. So in this one, they're saying that the British are actually not taking very good care of the Elgin marbles, and that the Greeks argue they could take better care of the Elgin marbles, so they should be returned to the Greeks in order to be taken care of. Fiona argues in the journal Nations and Nationalism, the Elgin marbles existed before national identity. Therefore, they belong to every nation. Britain has a claim on them, and they use them to expand their national identity. It helps define who they are. So the national identity wasn't really a big thing when the Elgin marbles were originally taken and brought to London. Therefore, they don't necessarily belong to any nation because there were no nations per se. So Britain takes a claim on them as part of their national identity, and it helps define who they are as an attraction, and just all around, it's good for them. So, in the end, we're going to say goodbye to Bob and his friends. They've been a great help in explaining this whole thing, and it's more of, I just kind of want to put the information out there for you guys. I don't really want to say whether Britain should keep them or the Greeks should get them back. I'll let you guys decide that based on what Bob and I have told you a little bit about. And since we're giving you kind of a brief overview, we hope that maybe you guys can take it one step farther and do a little research of your own to bring something else to the table and help explain where these Elgin marbles belong. So, thanks guys.